Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on sports stuff. And today, we'll be doing the NFC West. Now, obviously, I've been trying to do this series. I just posted my AFC South video. I believe it was AFC South. I posted it. That was my last video. I had the NFC South about a week ago. So I'm really excited to finally get on with the NFC West. And a couple days from now will be the AFC West. I'm trying to do all this before the draft, and hopefully the week of the draft, I'll be able to do my, I don't know, maybe like my power rankings. I'll do probably a pre and post draft power rankings of NFL teams. But if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button to be notified when I post next and when I go live, because all of the draft, April 28th, 29th, and the 30th, I will be live. And I will try to stream all 3 days, but more than likely it'll be the first 2 days, but I will try to stream all 3. But I'm going to be live tweeting, I'm going to be streaming, it'll be really chillax. I have my mock draft up so we can see what my picks were. I'll be trying to do analysis for the most part, almost every pick that I know of. But I'm really excited. So if you guys do want to watch me live with the draftathon, it's going to be a really cool vibe. I'm going to have a couple special guests. I'm going to try my best to have you guys on as well. I might try and have, like, for the first round, have a fan for every team come onto the stream. And, yeah. So if you guys are interested in that, hit the notification bell. April 28th, 29th, and the 30th will be my draftathon on sports stuff. Let's get into the video. So, the NFC West, it's an interesting division. So, obviously, we have the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Rams, and who did I forget? The Cardinals. The Cardinals. Wow, I forgot the Cardinals. But, yeah. So, this is the Seahawks draft. Now, I don't have in this mock draft the Seahawks trading for Baker Mayfield. It hasn't happened yet. And there was a report today by Andrew Berry, from the mouth of Andrew Berry, that they're willing to hold on to Baker Mayfield into the season. So I really don't think they're going to draft, or I mean, they're going to trade, their third round pick for Baker Mayfield. Also, if this is your first time watching a mock draft, I guess, one of these videos for me, when I'm doing the divisional round mock drafts, the divisional opponent mock drafts, I don't go past round 4, because I don't really know a lot about day 3 guys. What my bread and butter really is round 1 through 4. That's why I know a lot about those guys. So I don't want to keep going past that in the day 3. But I'm really excited to get in this video. Obviously, I'm starting off pretty well with the Seahawks. It gave me an A grade, which I'm okay with. At number 9, Charles Cross fell. If the Seahawks can grab a franchise left tackle in Charles Cross at 9, you do it. Ahmad Sauce Gardner was available. I couldn't let up Charles Cross slipping out of the top 8. Where there's the Jets, the Giants, the Panthers, there's all these teams that need left tackles. And they all went different directions in this mock draft. So the fact that Charles Cross slipped to 9, you got to take him. A+ grade from the PFF mock draft machine, which I completely agree with. He can play in any scheme, but he's going to really thrive in this team scheme. I did not mean to open that. Let me close that up. Next up is Sky Moore. There's rumors that DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett might be on the move. I don't believe the rumors, but if he is, you can't just have D. Eskridge and that's it. Replace either DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett. So getting Sky Moore, who is a bona fide wide receiver 2 at minimum, that's really is a steal in the second round. He's a fringe first round guy right now. He has a gadget ability on top of he's good enough to run almost any route and start on the outside, opposite of either Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf. So if they keep both of those guys, I don't think the Sky Moore pick will happen. But it really is, you're trying to surround either You're either trying to surround Drew Lock or Baker Mayfield or whatever quarterback you run out there. Surround them with as many weapons as possible. Prepare for injury and prepare for DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett being on the move. Because the Chiefs are apparently calling around the league, trying to get one of these, top receivers that come to the Chiefs. So if there's a way that somehow one of those receivers do go to the Chiefs, I think Sky Moore can replace him really well. Next up is Jalen Petrie. I love Jalen Petrie to the Seahawks. He really is that DJ Reed type of guy. He can play corner and safety. And the Seahawks do have pretty good pretty good safeties in Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs. But your safety room is only as good as your third safety, because if one of your guys go down with injury and someone who's like a practice squad player has to come in, it ain't going to be good. You're going to get burned a lot. Or even just to give guys rest. I think Jalen Petrie will come in, be their slot corner immediately. And if he needs to, he can play safety. But having Jalen Petrie, I think in the slot corner position is where he's going to thrive. but he can kick out the safety if needed. And then in the third round, I took a project in my opinion. I took Jamare Salyer. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Jamare Salyer from Georgia. I thought he was a really good player. He has great upper body strength, improved in pass pro from 2020 to 2021, which means that he's still growing as a football player, and as his ability and his body is still growing. He has experience at literally every single position on the offensive line. He played left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, and right tackle in his 3 years at Georgia. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. The thing is, he's only 6'4". So if Jamari Salyer can't play tackle, I think he'd easily kick in the guard or center and be really good. Ethan Pochik was just signed by the Browns, and I don't believe they have a center, if I'm not mistaken. They have Gabe Jackson at left guard. They have Damian Lewis at right guard. So Jamari Salyer can be that swing guy, can be the sixth man on the line, or at worst, can move up and become your right tackle immediately. Their comps were Tevin Jenkins for Jamari Salyer, and I think it's an okay comp. He can play right tackle, but I think you really want him in at guard. And if you move him in the guard, you have Gabe Jackson for one more season. But Gabe Jackson's a veteran. Let him. I believe he's in his 30s. Jamari Salyer can be your long-term replacement for Gabe Jackson. And then Sam Williams, he's really rising up my draft board. Lots of guys have him in the 3rd round, but PFF has him in the 5th round. As you can see, his board is 131. So I reached on the PFF machine, but I think he's easily a 3rd round pick. He has a 90 pass rush grade for 2021, and I believe he had 13 sacks in college football last year. He played all over the D-line, whether it was B-gap, A-gap, outside, inside tackle. Doesn't matter. At Ole Miss, Sam Williams was that guy. 13 sacks is very impressive in a college career. And I didn't have a grade below B- from PFF, and I completely agree with it. I really do. 3 A's, 1 A+, a B+, and a B-. Overall draft grade of an A. If the Seahawks walk away in the first 4 rounds with these kinds of players, I would be very happy as a Seahawks fan that the rebuild is going this well already without Russell Wilson. Seahawks fans, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Next up is the Cardinals. So I was actually really proud of this draft. I'm going to be honest with you. I was really proud of this draft. The fact that you can get a corner 2 who has the upside of a corner 1, but because you have Byron Murphy, you don't need a corner 1. Andrew Booth can easily be your second boundary corner. He's elite. At one point, people had him over Sauce Gardner and over Roger McCreary. I do think he is better than both those guys. He has a talent level to be probably cornerback 2 in this class, but I think because of Derek Stingley Jr. and Ahmad Sauce Gardner, he's going to be corner 3. He was there available at 23. I really do like Andrew Booth Jr. In my opinion, he is the 3rd best corner in this class, but he is sliding down a little bit just because other guys are rising up. I say this every time someone slides and I take them. If you aren't raising your draft stock, you're lowering it because everyone else is raising their draft stock. If you stay the same, you're going to lower as someone else rises. Kingsley Enagbare was available at 55. I'm surprised. I really like Kingsley Enagbare. I like his tape. I like his measurables. I think he's going to test really well at his pro day if South Carolina hasn't already had their pro day. I really do think Kingsley Enagbare will be really good. And as a rotational piece in this defensive line, you lost Chandler Jones. I'm not going to say Enagbare can start at defensive end immediately, but at worst, he's your 3rd edge. And again, when on your defense, you're only as good as the 3rd guy. So there's 2 starting safeties. How good is your 3rd safety? There's 2 starting edge rushers. Who's your 3rd edge rusher? I want to know who your 3rd guy is because that's the guy that comes in to replace guys in injury and when they need a rest. Are they going to be targeted? Are they going to be, exposed for how bad they are? Or are they going to hold up really well and prove that they're just as good as, 1 and 2? I think Kingsley Enagbare is going to be a really good 3rd option at worst and could be at best a really good defensive edge. And in the 3rd round, Cole Strange out of Chattanooga. This guy's been rising up boards so quickly. Ever since the Senior Bowl, he's been on everyone's boards. I've watched so many draft guys talk about Cole Strange. He primarily plays left guard, but he also filled in at left tackle this season, and he played pretty well. He had an 86 run grade with an 82 pass grade, and he had an 86 zone run grade. And the Cardinals do a lot of zone runs with James Conner. This past season, he did a lot of zone running, and that's how he had 19 touchdowns this year. So Cole Strange can move right in and start for them because I believe Justin Pugh is still a starter for them at age like 35. So I think Cole Strange can come in and take someone's job immediately, and he's just really good. He's really good. I'm surprised that he's still available in the third round. I would not be surprised if he's a second round pick. Would not be surprised at all. But yeah, it gave me a B plus. I'm okay with that. This is a pretty good draft for the Cardinals in the first 4 rounds. They don't have a 4th round pick, probably from the Zach Ertz trade, if I'm not mistaken. But if they can come away with these 3 players in the first 3 rounds, I'd be very happy as a Cardinals fan. Now this is where I got a little risky. Okay, I got a little risky. But let me explain. I did this because I truly believe this would be the best thing for the 49ers. Now, the PFF mock draft machine did not like it, but I think this would be amazing draft for the 49ers. So, Dylan Parham in the second round, not going to be available at 61 at the very end of the second round. Not going to be available, but he was. I think Shanahan's going to love Parham. I do. I think Parham is the perfect guard for a Shanahan system. He played left guard, right guard, and left tackle in college, so he can play either guard position. You have Daniel Brunskill starting at guard, and I believe you had some other unnamed dude, but you have Aaron Banks, who you drafted recently, so you're trying to hope that he becomes a starter one day. But you have barely starters at both guard positions, so he can immediately come in and be a starter. He had an 80 run grade with an 82 zone run grade and an 85 pass grade, so he's an excellent run blocker, especially in zone blocking, which literally is the Shanahan offense. That's what it's most known for. Aaron Banks is playing a right guard position, and I think he really is the future at that position. But Daniel Brunskill is a competent left guard, but I think Dylan Parham can easily take his job. Like, Dylan Parham is rising up boards right now. He's really good, fits their system. He was amazing in zone run blocking, and that's what the Shanahan offense is. That's what the entire league is trying to copy, is his offense. So Dylan Parham would be a perfect fit for the 49ers. Immediately probably becomes like one of the best guards in the NFC if they can get a Dylan Parham into that system. Because that really is what makes and breaks a young prospect, is what system they go to. Dylan Parham in a run heavy zone blocking offense, he's gonna be elite. Next up is JoJo Domann. So this is one of my pet picks for the 49ers. I got a B overall, which I'm okay with. He's from Nebraska. He had an 87 grade overall with an 88 coverage and an 83 run defense. He's amazing in coverage, but he's undersized. I believe he is 6'1". So, for that kind of system, you want big brawlers. But, I think with Fred Warner, he really can cover a lot of JoJo Domann's downside. He can be a really solid number 2 with a lot of upside to become, a really solid linebacker a couple years from now once he develops. But JoJo Domann can fit the system, and I think can really thrive next to Fred Warner. And they need a linebacker too anyway. They did draft, what was his name? Dre Greenlaw, is that his name? Dre Greenlaw, he's pretty solid. But I think JoJo Domann can be that third linebacker. Again, I keep saying this. How good is your third dude? That's how you can know how good your room is. Next up is Myjai Sanders. So, Myjai Sanders is really falling. He is falling far. I've seen him slip into the 4th round in a lot of mock drafts. I think you pick up the potential of Myjai Sanders, and you can not start him immediately. You have Nick Bosa, you have Eric Armstead. Myjai Sanders can be a really good 3rd or even 4th option. I think you take the shot on him, see what happens. He's not really a scheme fit. He isn't the greatest defender, but I think if you give him a chance to develop, you'll be happy. And Haskell Garrett, I don't know, man. I think they need another D tackle. I think Haskell Garrett can really come in and start for them, right? Haskell Garrett was a very good college player, but he declined heavily in 2021. He's primarily a B gap guy. He doesn't really play any other position on the defensive line besides the B gap. He's solid across the board, but in a poor defensive tackle room where you're starting Kevin Givens, I think there's a chance that Haskell Garrett could beat him out in training camp. Like, he is underrated how good he is. I think he's only in the 4th round because of how stacked this defensive line group is. He could easily be a day 2 pick in another draft class. So I think that's okay. I'm okay with it. And as you can see at the very bottom, I do have a Jimmy Garoppolo trade where the Panthers sent a future 3rd and a 5th this year for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not a 2nd round pick, but you get a future 3rd, which is going to be high in my opinion, because I still think they're not going to be good with Jimmy Garoppolo. But they get a bona fide starter, then you get a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick this year. I think that's pretty good value for the 49ers. C+ overall for the draft grade, but I think the trade probably bumps us up to a B-. So let me know what you think in the comments, you 49ers fans. I know you're going to hate it, but Dylan Parham is going to be elite in that system. JoJo Doman, I really do think could be a starter. Majay Sanders is more for the upside, and Haskell Garrett, I think he could beat out Kevin Givens any given day. Get it? Any given day. Anyway, next up is the Rams. Oh boy, this is another bad one. So, let me explain myself. Micah McFadden could beat out any of your linebackers, except for a couple. Let's go look at the. I left up the Los Angeles Rams depth chart. I left it up so I can explain myself. Leonard Floyd, it's a pass rusher, right? He doesn't really cover. He mainly pass rushes. Same with Terrell Lewis. Ernest Jones, right? Ernest Jones, solid guy. He's solid. Travin Howard, Justin Hollins. You can improve at those positions. And I think Micah McFadden, give him time to develop. I think he can be a starter for you. You already have a poor linebacker room, right? Not the greatest. Now, if you sign Bobby Wagner, the Rams, if you sign Bobby Wagner, get Micah McFadden off the board, go for a corner. Like, genuinely, your corner room probably is as poor as your linebacker room with Grant Haley, Robert Rochelle, David Long, like Kareem Orr, Antoine Brooks. Like, it's not the greatest cornerback room. So if you get Bobby Wagner, just turn him to a corner. Imagine Micah McFadden's a different player and he's a corner. Maybe Kobe Bryant, right? Maybe Kobe Bryant at round 3. But Micah McFadden, in this system, I think can hide his deficiencies, and he's better than the current options. That's really what it is. He's a solid enough player to where I don't think he's going to be the worst player on your defense. And your defensive line is so good, it hides your poor linebacker play. And next up is Zach Tom. I've talked about him before in my last video. Zach Tom out of Wake Forest is an underrated player. I believe I drafted him to the Saints in my first video. The Saints, I believe, drafted him. And I think he could start day 1. Now, obviously, with this tackle pairing, he's not going to. But I believe Rob Havenstein is, what, 30? Is he not 30 years old? He's 29. Havenstein is 29. I believe Noteboom is like 26. Right? Is he 26? He's 26. So Zach Tom is a left tackle, but I think you can move him to right tackle and prepare the future without Rob Havenstein, and it saves cap. Another thing, it will save you cap. But again, he can be the 6th guy in the line, kind of like what Joseph Noteboom was last year when you had Andrew Whitworth starting and you had Noteboom coming for injury and all that kind of stuff. I think Zach Tom could really be that for the future. Be the 6th guy on the line, be the swing tackle, and potentially be the future at right tackle. So, it gave me a C. I didn't like that draft grade. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm really trying to pump these videos out for you guys. I really enjoy making these videos. I know you guys enjoy watching them. So please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm excited. I'm excited for the draft. Again, April 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. I will be hosting a draftathon on this YouTube channel all 3 days, hopefully. So please hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post my next video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.